to really be alive. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for finding yourself in this moment, for breathing the same air that I do, for finding yourself illuminated by the same star, for being on planet Earth right now. For being yourself, in fact. Today's stream topic is going to be specifically about getting comfortable with your own fractal. I had this visualization, seeing an individual like a mosaic, like a pattern almost. And then every single time they would expose themselves to, expose might be the wrong word, they would find themselves in the company of friends, chemicals, entertainment. The fractal would change. It would start shifting, it would be a little bit different. And that might be something that's comfortable, might be something that is familiar, might be something that is a little bit more tolerable or interesting. But eventually, you'll find yourself about the substance, you'll find yourself about the entertainment, you'll find yourself about the friends, and then you'll have to be comfortable with the fractal you've always been. And how do we do that? How do we do that more efficiently? How do we get better at this? Is just self-love?
Nah, dude, do you know how you get better at anything you practice?
Ooh, it's a good one.
And dude, you gotta sit down, you gotta take some time, you gotta actually put in the effort.
Give me some Yerix and grinder.
I will.
Thank you.
You gotta be able to sit down, be with yourself, think with yourself, enjoy yourself for a bit. That's how you get more comfortable with your own fractal. In that time, you get to spend time thinking about that fractal and how you want to manifest that fractal.
You. Intention on the inside is just to be you. Beautiful.
Yeah, dude. Good morning, evening.
There we go, Maxine.
Where's my phone?
You've been missed, dear friend. I don't know.
Is it that side?
Oh, it is. It was underneath my knee. Maxine, I've been missing you, friend. And here you are, so early. Joe, Jack, Jumpin', Jomanji.
Hello.
Thank you for joining. It's nice to have you here. Connor's here too. All the love to you people. Tell me, Connor, maybe this is a good question to ask you too. Are you comfortable? Do you love the fractal that you are right now? You know, and not judging what your answer is, but just trying to see it that way. Like every action, every choice, every day-to-day behavior, the way you shower, how long you shower, the friends you have, the way you spend your time, seeing all of these things as fractals and looking at it and asking yourself whether or not you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Johan said something beautiful when I shared this topic with him. In the context of you can change. You can change that fractal, and how it's difficult to know how the fractal looks if you're ceaselessly giving yourself things to be distracted from it. If you're practicing escapism when it comes to how you're looking at yourself, what it is you don't like seeing. It's almost like it's impossible for you to find the root cause, see which pattern you're supposed to fix if your patterns are constantly being mushed together.
Yeah, and like I feel like what ends up happening a lot is when you spend a lot of time with people, you start becoming who they want you to be, which is not necessarily inherently bad, because like if you surround yourself with the people you want, you'll end up in a better place. But it could also be negative, but that still is not necessarily a problem, but it influences who you are to everyone else, because now you've chosen to have those people influence you because it's been repetition. So in the end, what that means is that the person you want to be is wholly yours. You just have to sit down and take some time to cultivate it, and then you have to practice that. Then the problem comes, if you want your fractal to be a certain way, you have to then walk not over people, but if people are trying to change that, you have to be like, no, I don't want to. This is better. This is who I want to be, and I will go in that direction. You got to sit down and do that too.
It's interesting how you're speaking to a trip I was having today, dude. I was thinking about this context of Rudo. You know, I was kind of exploring this idea of risk taking, and how technically taking risks is less risky if you think about it in the perspective of extremes of life experience, you know, and how my sibling, Rudo, he's finishing university right now. And he already has a job lined up. He's gonna get paid 20K a month, which is like $1,100 a month. So he's getting paid well,
Yeah.
and he's starting, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
it's a starting place.
that's his
as well,
starting
yeah.
place for him. He's going into the world of the corporation, if you will. And how things shifted, right? Like it was so interesting to me, Johan. There was at first, like throughout this entire year, when I started, like earning money with the Patreon,
Mhm.
there was respect at first, right?
Mhm.
He was like, "Oh wow, seems you're actually trying to do something. This is actually a way for you to make a living on the internet." And now, like a year later, it's gone from that to you're not making enough. Right? You're not making enough, you're not doing enough, you're clearly going to fail if this is your trajectory. Na 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 na. And just as you said, dude, like being willing to go at your fractal,
Dude.
even if other people are telling you that it's the wrong fractal that you're going at.
Dude, absolutely.
And it's a slippery slope because at some point it's also wise to listen to other people.
Mhm. But that again boils down to the sitting quiet time because, like we said, that fractal of who you are gets continuously updated and updated and updated with things. So when you get to the sitting down time, you're not starting over. You have all that baggage, and then it's your choice to sit down and be like, maybe that guy has a point, maybe this and this and this. But that's again, you need to take the time to do that. And every time I've taken the time, things have been more clear because you're not worrying about how somebody else is going to feel about it, who's going to care, what's going to happen. You're just sitting down and being like, what do I feel about this situation? Dude, it's important. Again, like you said, people trying to influence you to be this way and be that way and be this way and be that way. And like sometimes it's not even them trying actively to do it, but it's just their fractal and yours conflicting. And that is again choice you need to make if you're willing to deal with those people or if you want to deal with those people. And sometimes they're your family and you have to like deal with it.
You know what I'm tripping out about? I'm tripping out about this distinction between seeing yourself in another person and wanting to see yourself in another person. Right?
Yeah, I can see it, dude. Sometimes you can believe somebody is some way so hard that wait, actually, there's two ways you can do this. Do you mean like in the sense of wanting somebody to be something so hard that you see that in them, versus actually them being the
So
person?
that's a third slice that you're acting right now. I'm talking more how you can see yourself in other people, right? But that can be a dual cutting sword where you might see behavior in people that you've seen in yourself that you don't condone, that you would like them to change so you can see more of the current version of yourself.
But that's
in them.
toxic.
Yeah.
That's real toxic. And a lot of people are like that. They'll be some way and try and force you to be another way because it's easier on them to deal with you like this than who you actually are.
Yeah. It's a trip, dude.
Dude,
Human beings are complex.
so complex.
I've like I want to use this word more, nuanced.
Nuance. I like
So
it because
nuanced.
it's so dependent. Like there's so many small variations, and each like instance of where anybody is or anything is leads like to a different outcome because it's so complex. Like I was telling him, Chris and I found this quite funny. I was thinking about like how distributed our brain is, like in the sense that pretty much most neurons connect to most other neurons in like the three-dimensional weird space. And I was trying to just do the math to like figure out how you put neural nets together of that size.
So the interesting thing, and we've noticed this with our neural nets already, is that certain pathways arise.
Yeah, but that's how your brain works.
Yeah, exactly. Dude.
But if you just start doing like a little bit of simple math to like, if I'm not making my math up wrong here, but if you take to connect something to something else in the same quantity is a square. So if you have 100 million nodes and you try and connect it to another 100 million nodes, you're squaring your 100 million nodes, which means that every time you try and add another node, you're actually adding exponentially more and more. And then your brain just works like that, and then we expect to understand people. we expect to be able to understand how all those connections are perfectly fitting together to produce this one result
Fractals.
based on like this specific input. Dude, it's kind of quick.
The fractal is too
It's
complex.
so complex.
It's just so branching, dude. Like I'm trying to imagine if you could just understand the fractal of someone's intrapersonal relationship with a single one of their parents.
Dude.
Right? Just that. Just
Yo, dude,
that.
I just flashed through like all the road trips,
Right.
all the conversations, all the nuances, what they wanted you to get at school, what type of career they wanted you to go.
Disappointment.
Yo, dude, all of those things. It's so crucial to who you end up being, bro. That's deep. And then like your parents are one thing because they've seen a lot, but like close friends that have seen you at like your most vulnerable in states like that, the way they see you, the way your best friends, the way your wife or husband sees you, and then those are just like 6 people.
Yeah, and I honestly believe that you friends know me more than my actual parents do. Weirdly enough, like you know the truer version of myself more than they do. You know, and like I think that's a trip as well because it's this trip that you are multiple different people.
So many.
Like every single person has a whole different interpretation.
That
of
time
who you
your
are.
2 different friend groups hang out together and you have to juggle your
No,
personalities.
The best one I've seen is when you use the wrong personality with the friend group, and it's this
It's
dude
like
walks up,
Adrian's
dude,
post, right?
and this guy walks up to his friends and is like, "Did you squirt blood in any predator's eyes today?" And then it's the next one flip with them being like, "What the fuck do you mean?" And the next one drops down with him standing with his lizard friends being like, "Did you file your taxes today?" And I love it, dude. I love it.
I
so
saw I
much.
saw one from Adrian. It goes, did you destroy any mortals or something like any permanents? Yeah, any did you destroy any
Any
permanents
permanents.
lately? And then this like weird like almost like demonic creature, you know, asked this person, so how did it go? And he's just like crying. It went awful.
Yeah, memes. Also, I think YouTube's just not updating.
YouTube is updating. It's just you have to move with your finger.
Ah.
Sena, good morning, Meltmore, and the beautiful friends. I'm heading to work, so I'll tune in for 20 minutes. Still probably here, Sena. So much love to you. Hello, Mel, Christian, Johan. Happy birthday again.
Shemski.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maxine, been missing you. Thank you,
Shemski,
Shan. Sending the love to
Brewskis.
Sena, love to you again, friend. Connor says, no, I know I can change the fractal, but I am the master of distraction. I need to crystallize my path more rather than let my vices control me. I feel what you're saying, but I would like to suggest an easier route than just crystallizing your path because that can be pretty forming crystals of any kind is hard work, you know, like it takes a long time to crystallize your ideas to say
Even
it so.
salt.
But I do believe that just by showing up for something, trying to solve a problem, trying to make something better, right? Whatever it is, doesn't have to be something massive. You know, you can like literally make your diet better. You can eat a little
One
bit more
less
green.
cookie.
Yeah, one less cookie. You can eat a little bit more greens. You know, today, and that is already you pushing towards like a problem solving aspect of your nature that needs to be stimulated in order for you to feel alive properly.
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with people who want you to succeed, then why not? It's about quality of friends, not quantity. I think we made the same point. I agree completely, Maxine. This is the way. Melty, the phrase goes, if you don't like the place that you find yourself in life, just go out and change it.
Yeah.
Learning to be unshaken by the projection of others is a worthwhile practice.
That is that like we were also talking about how where was this point going?
Going at it yourself,
Yeah.
making
Friends, it's gone. It'll come back now.
it being worthwhile to go at your own thing, maybe.
Gone.
Oh, it's okay. Joy V is here too, though. So much love to you. Connor says, Melt, you're so right. I try to fix the world rather than focus on fixing myself. I see the darkness in myself that I see in the whole society. Yet I choose to ignore my own. That's what's happening on a collective scale, Connor.
And there's the the idea of like how do you fix the world when you yourself is broken? How do you do that?
It's a paradox.
The only way you fix something is by fixing in here, because naturally what's in here gets portrayed outwards, as within, so without. And so by increasing this inside and making this what you really want it to be, you're automatically working outwards.
I think we were talking about that yesterday, actually, dude. That you don't see the world as it is; you see the world as you are.
Yeah, 100%, dude. The easiest way to do it is no, thank you.
Christian?
I'll join a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would have joined, but I gotta drive. I gotta go have dinner with my dad. I'm not gonna get high now.
I'm smoking with you friends.
Yeah, I'm sorry, boys.
Yeah, your friends, my friends. It's nice to have you friends. Yeah. Oh, get this. I'm gonna be
Get
getting
destroyed,
blazed.
dude. Get them wrecked.
Oh.
Dude.
It starts with you tuners. It really does. Connor, I feel like that too. I think there are more than a few people in this room who can relate to that. And we're not trying to judge, right? We're not trying to be mean to, we're not trying to tell you that you're not right. In fact, the point of today's stream specifically is getting comfortable with your own fractal, right? Sometimes your fractal can be uncomfortable. And the only way to become comfortable with it is to change it.
And make it comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the thing we're encouraging as a thought experiment today.
And what I like, something that's also valid to mention is there's a difference between actually being comfortable and being toxic about becoming comfortable.
Self-love versus self-neglect.
Dude, but it even goes worse than that. I mean, in the sense of like toxic self-love. Like, this is a harsh example, but it's the one that immediately comes to my head. Incels. People that want to make themselves better, but will do it in such a way at the extremes of it just so that they no longer feel uncomfortable with who they are. But in that way, they end up making themselves more uncomfortable with who they are. Sometimes we can convince ourselves that a road is the right road. And that's where we come back with that, like, you can't crystallize it solidly because that's not how life goes. As you're busy
It's
walking
melting,
that,
ceaselessly.
you suddenly need to go, oh, whoa. This path is dark. We're not touching it. And then you need to go on.
Humaning is hard.
Humaning is fuck difficult. The best thing I've ever read or ever heard was the thing from Terence McKenna, Aaron Watts, where he said the brain's the most complex thing and it doesn't come with a manual. It's so good, dude. It's like, imagine how hard it is to put a fucking table together with like 4 or 5 screws and 2 legs, and then you have 4 legs, and then you have your brain.
It'll probably have to get harder to put a table together with only 2 legs. So.
Dude, well, yeah, it would be, but you could make it work.
Yeah, your brain is like an order of magnitude so much more complex. You know, and yet, out of all of that complexity, such simplicity arises, you know, and I'm a strong believer in this understanding that I've at least tried to gain for myself, that philosophy should be simple. At least the core of philosophy should be simple. That's why it goes melt more as a reminder for myself to surrender, to let go of my preconceived notions, to let go of this want to be right, to hold on to control. Like, that's what melt more means to me every single time I hear it. And then the other one is love is true. That out of all of the experiences you have, out of the negative ones, out of the loss, that love is still true. That the pain you feel is because of love. That your ability to feel anything at all is because of love.
I realized something the other day, that there is some people that view love very, very differently to the way we do. And like, I don't want to name names, but I know someone that when somebody gets hurt near them, they'll get angry at them as love. To them, love is it's toxic, it's not the right way, but to them, love is this idea of like, I love you so much, I want to hurt you for hurting yourself. And it's still a form of love. It's a very different and very mangled form of it, but it's still there. And I really think that there is very few things that people can do born out of love of certain like magnitudes and variations and like changes and everything. I feel like a lot of what things do is love for things or for somebody else. So like even your parents telling you to do something, or your girlfriend or something wanting you to change is still a form of love for you. They may not like fully understand the way you want to change or what they mean, but it's still in some weird way a form of love, dude.
Love is true. It's a difficult experience to accept sometimes, man, because we I don't know if we necessarily, but our egos definitely likes to consider itself a victim. It's impossible to get it off.
I know, dude. I've been trying for so
I've been
long.
trying
I'm
for
sorry.
years,
So-
Johan. I've been trying for years. I've beaten it against things. I have used a piece of steel to pull it against.
He got seriously caught up, but I don't know if you can see it. Do you see
Is
that
it-
little
You
bulb?
know what happened there?
Wait, that little bulb right there. I think you can't see it, but there's something there, and I
It
have
was
been.
it was while making a coil, and I was like scratching on it, and it fused. Electro heating fuse.
Yeah,
that
it's
thing
not
apart of
coming
it.
off.
I've tried so hard.
See, this is life. This spontaneous, what the fuck just happened moments. That's life.
And you know what? What was the craziest thing? I knew exactly what you were doing just by listening to the sound. Like
Yeah.
I've made that sound so many times that I know what it means.
Dude, trying to break fucking fused metal apart. It's never gonna happen.
It
It's
doesn't
like,
happen, though. I tried so hard. I'm just imagining how, like, my mind, out of like,
click.
built this entire fractal of what you're experiencing.
What I was gonna say for you about your like simplicity of it, the thing that has made us so successful as humans is our ability to take infinity and squash it to words. That like proper understanding of words, because what we've done is things are so complex, like trying to imagine the sounds. Like that simple thing, do you know how many memories you just did a scan through to make sure you remembered the sound correctly? And then did all the math to move your arms, your head, your eyes, everything. Then you took the photons and like as you're going, like all of that, but all you really did was heard a sound and remembered.
Make some sounds
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Like that ability is what makes us so successful at like doing things.
Making the complex simple.
Mm-hmm.
That's a trip, dude. You know, and it's the whole 1 and 0 thing. That everything exists between those two states, dude.
Mm-hmm. And well, everything does exist. That's the like coolest part about quantums. You have 0, 1, and anything and everything that could possibly exist in the infinity between 0 and 1.
In between, yeah.
Dude.
And we're like having this trifecta of DNA, CRISPR tech, AI, you know, machine learning tech, and quantum
Mhm.
commercial tech, dude. At the same time, oh, like it's gonna be like a rocket fuel for humanity. It's gonna send us into the stratosphere a little
Dude.
bit.
Cray, dude.
Are you taking a picture of yourself right now
I'm trying to access my bloody Appsat account.
with your face?
Yes.
His phone doesn't recognize him.
He's like, who's this?
So I grew a beard and my phone still recognizes me. Get wrecked, dude.
Dude, what's facial recognition tech, dude? That is already so good. I don't know if you know, but in China, when I got there, they have these little booths before you can enter the borders that have a camera on it, that
And they
has a
smack
screen,
it.
and it has fingerprint scanners. And then you stand there with your fingerprints on the machine, and it tells you to stare to the camera. And then it does it for a bit, and from that moment forward, I'm never not tracked in China.
How terrifying, dude.
So all they have to do, if they like, oh, this person is up to some weird shit, you know, like they like report me, for example, then all they have to do is search that exact name, and then all of the instances of recording they have
In the
of me.
200 million CC.
Yeah, they have like literally frame by frame my entire life in front of them, and then they can be like, oh yeah, this is where you did some shady shit, this is where you did some shady shit, and then they can prosecute you based on that. So in their society, there's no room to fuck up.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't, dude. How terrifying! Like that is the one way of keeping like people safe.
Like crime and murder is very low.
Yeah, because you can't do anything to
The
how
biggest
hard it has
biggest
to be.
murderer in China is the The actual
dude.
people that
See, that's the one way you get people to stop killing each other. The other way is you treat them like human beings, and you give them proper things, and you like get them to the stage of living where you are, and they will stop killing.
yeah, dude, like give people a quality of life.
Dude, what gets me
Right,
is-
because that is where all of this animosity is coming from. Is this separation of like the haves and the
Dude,
have-nots?
what gets me is like, why are you not murdering? Because there's no need for me to. I have everything I need.
Mm.
So why are the other people? Because they need things. There's certain sometimes things, and some people are just like people are like mentally
Yeah,
problems.
but that is a
But
very
that's
small
different.
percentage.
That's different from what I'm meaning. That is like you can give them anything. If you're a sociopath, it's difficult. Like,
So I believe it's gonna be, maybe be a third option, right? And it's still gonna be about treating people decently, but it's going to be still about economics thereof, where it's gonna be in the grand scheme of things profitable to have people stay alive, right? Because
Yeah.
we're all a part of this ever-growing massive node of information, and the more information, the understanding of the information there is, the more value can be derived from it. And that's the model we're going into. I believe every single human being is, and you have that on your profile picture right now, dude, right?
Mhm.
Every single human being gets to bring something to the table.
Yeah.
To the infinity.
The quote says is life is a giant buffet table and everyone brings a meal. That's the quote. And then like it's just like come bring your potatoes, bring your mash, bring whatever the fuck you can. Let's eat, dude.
You
Let's
know what I'm
enjoy.
thinking? I'm gonna give our friends a little bit of a nudge, going like, what he's technically saying is that you, dear friend, are in fact the snack.
are
You
the
can
snack.
officially stamp yourself a snack. You be a snack. We see the world as a product of us, and thus under our control. Ourselves are other matter. I feel it fluctuates too. You know, it's one of those irreconcilable paradoxes. The the whole nurture versus nature argument, right? I'm going to be honest, I feel that. I don't really open up much more than I have on here. I don't really get close with anyone. I don't like being vulnerable. Nobody does, Connor. But we all are, right? We all take risks ceaselessly. You breathing air, there's a percentage chance that there can be a particulate in it, there can be a virus in it that can ruin your existence. But you're not gonna stop breathing air, right? You're not gonna stop being vulnerable. You're not gonna stop exposing yourself to people. In the grand scheme of things, when it comes to your vulnerabilities, your emotional, state, these things are a part of life. I feel if anything, people gain if you're and this is maybe like if anything, this is a good thing because the people that will try and take advantage of you when you're being vulnerable and you're aware enough, you'll notice it and you'll get to remove those people from your life.
Yeah.
You know? So the people that will appreciate you for the Christian is still trying to look inspired. The people that will appreciate you for the person you are and the way you exist in the world and will communicate that with you, will encourage and support you with that. Again, the people you surround yourself with should want you to succeed, shouldn't
Yeah.
want you to fail. And if they're not that, then clearly they're not,
Like
worth your time.
I think it's just important to remember that everyone is just as vulnerable as you. There's no person that's more or not. Everyone is just as susceptible to saying something. People just pretend not to be.
And
You
some
can get
people
you-
are better than others.
Yeah, some people are better than others, and some can use it and like understand it and process it a little bit better. But everyone can be hurt exactly the same way you can, and that's a very reassuring thought because you're not worse or better than anybody. Everybody's the same.
Yeah. Like it's about finding similarity in infinite difference, dude, right? Like again, the whole making something simple out of all of this complexity. I believe that the point isn't supposed to be to become each other, right? To completely melt away any identity or uniqueness. But I feel it is about recognizing each other, finding the things that we do have in common. And then, one of the quotes that I try to practice, and it's a hard one, Johan, and it's one of those that I feel is wrong, but it still feels powerful to me, is find reasons to trust people.
I agree. To me, it's always been show me why I can't. I will until you have shown me that I can't. I love that song.
Good luck.
Yeah.
He's getting a phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Sam. Thank you, Shan, for saying love too. I love watching the bloom of a human experience amidst the poison that flows freely. I love seeing the growth and the fight of consciousness amidst the world that denies its value. Tunes, it's similar for me. I'm not a very social critter usually, but I have freedom here to compile my thoughts and have people respond to these thoughts. This is a beautiful space for me, Brother Joe. And you know, your words are beautiful too.
Mhm.
Thank you for choosing to share. Thank you for compiling your thoughts, right? And I shared this with our friends before, Johan, but I believe, or at least it's the way I see it, I imagine the sentence, right? Like the way it is in a little box, but then I unroll it into like a single line. And then the single line, you know, comes out of fingers, right? And then these fingers come out of the central nervous
Yeah.
system, and that central nervous system is trying to process for a whole emotionality, a whole fractal of a human being. So the sentence that you have given us, dear friend, you know, says a lot about you. It shows the beauty that is inside of you, friend. And all of you do that, and I appreciate you for sharing. And you're doing that even without it, right? You're still creating that whole experience. That experience isn't lost to me. Technically it is lost to me. Like there's so much more of you, friends, than there's of me.
And there's so like the experiences that's been had collectively is unfathomable unfathomable by one. I love that word, unfathomable. It's fun, dude.
I mean, it kind of gets the point across.
Yeah, dude. So I love it, dude. And you can get in a space and you can share things and talk about things, and as a collective grow.
Man, that gives me hope. Thank you. But the joke of being willing to share so deeply. Sometimes I do horrible things just to say I'm too far gone. An excuse is not the best version of myself. This space has really pulled me out of the gutter. I don't see why self-destruction seems so appealing. So I was talking about that in my yoga practice, right? Why is it we say mean things? So it was more, if you can say anything to someone, right? You can literally create an experience for someone by giving this word, this understanding, this feeling to them. Why would you give anything other than a good one? Like, and maybe that's the whatever the reason for that is the same reason for why it is we have this self-destructive streak.
So, the self-destruction is most of the time what I have seen from personal experiences, you can tell me if I'm wrong, is that it is born out of the lack of commitment not to do it. Because self-destruction is easy because the universe tends towards disarray.
Yeah.
Entropy is
It's like
entropy is literally a fundamental force of the universe, is that things tend towards
More chaos.
chaos. And this towards chaos means that you're going to end up in a self-destructive place if you don't put things in place to stop it. And that's hard.
That's beautiful insight. Thank you.
Because I really, and that's from personal experiences as well. When you stop exercising, your body gets weaker. You stop eating well, you get that. You stop socializing, everything spirals down when you stop putting active effort into it.
Showing up, man. Showing up. That's really cool. So the way that my mind is verbalizing this into like a tenant or something that you can give someone is this deep understanding. Dude, I'm trying to still gather the words. That it's almost your base state to self-destruct.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the lowest version of yourself.
It's the one that without any external input, your body would still tend towards that self-destruction. Literally through the laws of physics.
So it's almost like letting go into the animal side of yourself instead of realizing that you are the divine part of yourself.
Yeah.
The divine part of yourself is the part in perfect
The
order.
one that goes one that's outside, the one that looks, and the one that actually.
The one that's creating the light that is shining through the thing that is creating the projection you're experiencing. Yes, thank you, Connor, for leading us there too, dear friend. I appreciate you sharing your wisdom, friend. You're doing fine. You remind yourself of that.
You are.
You're a beautiful
Everywhere and
fractal.
anywhere you have ever found yourself was exactly where you should have been. Thus, you are right now. You are where you are to learn what you need to learn to do whatever you need to grow.
You're growing, friend. That feeling action comes from inside your ego and conditioning, but it also is easily overcome if it can be identified. Self-harm is a complex subject. Identifying the root is very crucial. And it can be different for every person.
It is different for every person.
But I feel, weirdly enough, it might be ultimately attached to that fundamental fractal of not showing up for things. And I feel the reason you're not showing up for things can be different. Like, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't want to do this. Oh,
Somebody
I'm depressed.
tells me I can't.
Yeah, no. Exactly.
The story you tell yourself.
The story you tell yourself, dude. That's one of the things that I say the most to myself. It's just like, what story am I telling myself right now? Nikki Six of Montley Crew published a year of his journals touching on this very subject, Connor. It's a wonderful read. Thank you, Sam, for sharing that. Learning the why is the path to learning the why not. Paying attention to why and why not, I feel is something that we're almost trying to stop doing. It's like we'll do anything in our power not to pay attention. It's like it's easier to be unaware.
It
I think
is
it
easier.
No, that's-
What do you mean, dude? I don't have to focus.
Like,
I can just sit and
I don't have to-
watch stuff happening
I
around
don't
me.
have to be responsible for
Yeah,
anything.
dude, it's easy.
That sounds nice. I'm so glad I can say the truth here. I don't have anyone I could talk to about this. Most of you in here know more about me than everyone I have ever known.
Can I tell you something? You have people. They're here. You're viewing this wrong. What's really the difference between this place and the real world? The real world. The real is only what you want it to be.
Like, either everything is real or nothing
Yeah.
is.
There can't be an in between. Everything that you can see, that you can talk to, that you can experience is real.
And this medium is growing. Right now, it is the way it is because of our technological limitations. Eventually, you can quite literally lean over to your friend who's sitting next to you in this space and be like, what do you think about this? And then you can go off on a tangent and have a conversation. And if you have a beautiful time doing that, then I've done my job. Right? You don't have to keep listening to me. It doesn't really matter that much. Because all that really matters is the enjoyment and the depth and the experience you are having. You're having it. Here you are, right? Even if you mess up, even if you make mistakes and you stumble over, some obstacles, keep getting up. Because that's the experience worth pursuing. Just that constant showing up for your dream, showing up for what it is you believe, showing up for the things you want to see, right? Like the genuine experiences you imagine yourself completely happy in. And not creating a narrative that you're not happy right now because you don't have those experiences, but bringing those experiences on, right? Like having a good experience of a friendship has to happen in your mind first before it can happen in the outside world.
And it's not just gonna happen.
Exactly. I'm thinking about it from this perspective of manifestation.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to go and eat something, you have to think, I'm gonna go and eat that thing, and you think of it where it is in the fridge, and you think of how you're gonna stand up and walk there, and then the body follows that manifested thinking.
Yep.
The story you tell yourself, again, dude. Like we're powerful beings.
Yeah, we were also talking about it in the sense of like I remember a while back I realized this thing that you are right now is the bleeding edge of existence. That like frontal thing, flinging fiery hellscape of energy that is the universe, constantly building and expanding and existing, like you're right on the edge. You have that entire pool of energy of the universe to do anything you want. Literally anything. It's fully yours to do with whatever the fuck you want.
Every time you make this point, it feels like it gets lost in me, dude.
I can't tell you really what I remember or how I felt about it.
So the way that I'm envisioning it is that there is this momentum happening from the bang of the universe, right? And this momentum is going somewhere. And you are a part of that momentum and you're also going there. But you can either be like a particle in the wind just being flung by it, or you can look forward and kind of steer yourself into which part of it you want. And the universe is literally right there behind you, pushing you
fully,
forward.
like as all the energy of existence, the pure energy of physics is behind you, pushing you in a direction.
It's pretty sick, dude.
Dude,
I like that.
It's fucking crazy. You have everything you could ever need. You just need to do it.
You're powerful.
Dude, beyond
So
belief.
strong. So freaking strong. It's easier to stay with what you know because it's what you used to. It's what you're used to. Even if it's destructive, embrace the unknown, the new. We're right here with you, tuners. Such a beautiful point. Thank you, Shan, for sharing that love, all the love that you've always been here with me on the space. Thank you, Connor. You're showing up for it too, friend. You're making this happen just as much as all of us are. We love you, Connor. We do. So much love. Oh man, you friends are melting me right now. This place for you friends is the struggle for enlightenment and evolution. Thank you. I honestly believe that. I've called these streams in my own world conscious evolutions instead of just streams. These are conscious
You're sitting
evolutions
down,
to me.
You're taking time to look at your own fractal, to look at the world's fractal, and be like, what are we doing here? What is happening? Do we like it?
Do we like it?
Dude, I love it.
What a beautiful way to say it, though. It's so beautifully apt on the topic of today as well, man. This is one for the books. Like I have a list of my favorite streams that I update. This one is going into my favorite streams list. Just to tell you friends again, it is his birthday.
Hello.
It's his birthday. He's a 22-year-old man right now.
Yeah.
He just practiced yoga. But for like the first time,
I've done yoga before, but not like properly.
he did a whole yoga practice
Yeah.
for the first time, right? A whole, and he did it, right? Even though it was hard,
It was
showed
fun.
up for it.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
there we go. I was so proud of him, and like having him in the space with me literally enabled me to be a better teacher. Seriously, dude. I was not bullshitting on that. Usually, I communicate significantly less because I don't have a frame of reference, right? Because I don't get to see. I don't get to see outside my own fractal. Dude,
Right.
so like literally there's this whole I was spending some time in meditation and I had this vision of like a mosaic of a single individual. And then another individual came into it and these mosaics interlap. And it was like in the middle of it. And you know, it was the same thing with a substance, maybe a little bit smaller, but also creating these experiences, these ripples in the fractal. Water, the environment, etc., 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 etc. And I saw like a discomfort with this individual looking at their own fractal, and then I saw like this individual like touching things, you know, and it'll jump. That's better.
Yeah.
And then again, going into the world, and then the experiences are colored by that work done, by that growth kind of influence, dude. Like the ability to see fractals, like you were in my fractal, dude.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
You're
You too,
my-
Christian. I wish he had more presence. He's still
Dude,
He's
still
still holding his phone to his-
trying to get it to fucking open. I'm so befuddled.
Are you having a hard time?
Is your phone-
This entire fucking week has been a hard
He
time.
has been struggling.
Can I tell you a secret? You probably wanted it.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, like every single time before a festival, dude, there is some stuff that happens. You know, weirdly enough, Christian, and this is more one of my hippie woo.
My fucking laptop
Listen-
died.
listen,
Can't fucking
listen,
access my goddamn
listen.
account online. Oh my god, fucking shit going on in the interview. Some fucking work. Ah!
So much for
Ah!
that.
So
So
everything's under control.
on top of all of that, Christian, like, and this might be like bullshit, but feel it with me. Oh, maybe festival version of you right now is reaching into this versions of you's life, messing with you
And we're like,
to make you stronger so that you can experience even more love in festival version of yourself's world.
dude,
Festival me might just burn down the entire place.
he won't. He doesn't have the balls.
Hey!
Outed.
No,
How
he
dare
doesn't.
He just got outed. Christian's actually a
How
sweetheart.
dare you?
Christian just pretends to be a psychopath. Christian,
Fucking finally.
are you winning? Bro, I was gonna start singing "It's a Hard Knock Life" for a second.
It's a hard knock
What you
life.
say?
Hey. Boom.
Like that's just been technology for Christian this whole week. Every single time there's a new scene of Christian being like, "Ah yes, I'm balanced. This is the next scene of my life."
Dude, I went
Life
through,
is like, what is inspired
Yeah.
begun at Christian?
You see, I went through 2 months of that, dude. Every time anything would happen, I thank you.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It
man.
would go tits up. And it was such a pain. But at the end, you know what? It helped, made me better.
Yeah, you're stronger for it.
It's not that big of a deal.
More
It's always
capable.
much bigger of a deal when you're sitting inside it than it actually is. And you make things way bigger in your own head.
Mm.
Like, your laptop dying, meh. The biggest thing about it, you have to get a new laptop. You have to spend a little bit of money.
A little bit.
You have to
Just
spend
a
little bit of
just a
money.
little bit of
The
money.
tiniest, tiny bit of
Christian,
money.
in the grand scheme of your lifetime, that is gonna be just a little bit of money, dude.
What is it for your happiness? What is it for your work?
What is your time? Bro?
Yeah, dude. Things are way worse when you want them to be, and way easier when you want them to be.
You know, I've been like fucking playing nonsense at him with like manifesting, dude. Like still, I won't let this go. Literally, Christian looks over to me. You know, he's playing a game. He's like, I think I want a new laptop. He says to me, I'm like, why? He's like, you know. I'm like, no, like, what can a new laptop do that your current one can't do? And then I hear like rationalizing start happening.
And that.
Minutes later, the computer died. Just like
It felt it, bro. I was like, see, you don't want
You don't want me
anymore? I'll
You
show
fuck,
you.
dude.
Exactly, dude. I was like tripping out about that stuff. And we've like been tripping out about your computer listening to you. And like Siri definitely listens. Who says your Lenovo doesn't
Oh,
listen
no,
as
dude.
well? Dude. It's like, oh yeah, peace. Dude, I'm tripping out actually for a second now. Like they could technically do that.
Just be listening. You're like, I
Yeah.
don't want this computer anymore. Great, we nuke it.
Actually,
Yes, fuck. Dude, now.
you see, dude. Now I'm paranoid today. I was like, oh yeah, it's manifestation, and I'm like, corporate manipulation. Oh goodness. Christian, are you feeling the paranoia? Is that they couldn't do that?
I'm in so much peace right now, dude. Everything is.
Oh, that's what a peaceful man looks like. You have been surfing it, you know. It's almost like I'm imagining Christian surfing nails right now, and he's just like doing it. He's doing tricks and stuff.
You got it, bro. What else is there to do? You're on a fucking sea of nails, dude. The only thing you can really do is, but you know what? You want to see a front flip?
Don't fall in.
Hey. Oh, fuck it, dude. If you fall in, you just.
Oh good.
Yo, dude, the couch. Yo,
Oh,
dude,
my.
the graphic, bro. That's the worst. The worst part, I'm just seeing Saw. I don't know if you've ever seen Saw, but when that woman like falls into.
Mine was a lot more
Oh,
tame.
yo, no, dude. Mine was deep.
Mine
dude.
was still pretty stabby, but wasn't
Yeah, no,
so stabby.
Mine was like falling on a bed. Like, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear this disclosure. Is that there's a scene in Saw with this woman.
No, I'm okay as well, thank you.
That's fine.
I'm gonna close my brain. I can't, like, I'm a picture person, dude.
Well, you're gonna. I'm not gonna say it.
I'm such a picture person, thank you. I just imagine, like, every single one of our friends.
They're like, "Ah!"
saves themselves. JB, again, love to you. I'm gonna become a little bit more present. Melita's here too. Dreamer J.
Hello.
Happy love sent to you. It's nice to have you here. Just do it.
Yo, dude, we've been talking so much bullshit.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot. We're like behind. Everything we do is evolving. Even when it seems we take a step back, we learn from those steps back. Okay, let's actually some happy birthdays. The space is tangible, real as anywhere. We have been able to build friendships and connections through a digital medium rather than traditional physical interaction. Still real to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel one of the things that I look forward to in the future is more tangibility.
Dude,
Right? And
it's just
a part of my mind goes to like physical interaction, like having like a festival and dancing together, right? As a group of friends. And the other side of it knows that it's going to be exponentially easier in the VR realm, where it's going to be the exact same embodied interaction that you can have with another individual. It's going to be communication.
Yeah.
It's literally going to be a new form of communication for humanity.
Absolutely, dude. Like me and my best friend Tiger, we spent your 2014, 6 years of our lives was just online like communication. He's by far. It doesn't change that we spent like 8 hours a day together. It's you still know the person, you still work stuff out. It's the same. You just don't have a body for it. Like most, it's in here in anyways. Your friendships, the way you view them, and everything. This thing is just how I like get
Interact,
yeah.
How I move myself.
How I get myself around, how I interact with the physical.
Okay, enough today.
Thank you, Christian. Do you wanna
Everything is awesome.
join us? School,
Yeah, I can make
part of a
space.
team.
Well, I'm gonna
Everything's
leave in
awesome.
like 5 minutes, so
I'm
you're
present.
fine.
I'm present.
So I really want to throw this at him. Like
Read a card for Johan before he fucks off.
Just imagine, Christian, how relieved you're gonna be when we're at a festival. You don't have any worries.
Yo, dude, I'm certainly hitting the delete button at that place, dude. No, just dropping the database. I'm just going in.
Yeah. We have a chalet, dude.
Holiday mode, dude. Holiday mode.
Oh, couple days, dude. Dude, all you need to the friends who are out there, take like a weekend. Just a little weekend to truly like take your brain, take those worries, put them there,
Just for a little bit.
leave them there, don't throw them away,
Take a breather.
put them down, go do something, come back, pick them up, put them back.
You deserve it. You all deserve it. I'm gonna read all of the happy birthdays.
Thank you.
Maxine and Joe and Connor.
I
Release
appreciate
focus on the end result and take a day. Tunes, look at that. More encouragement for taking a day. Joy Vive as well. So much love. Thank you, Joe. What's this
Good dude.
I love it.
Dude, when you get when you get more birthday happy wishes on the stream than you do in real life, dude, I appreciate it.
Thank you,
boys.
dear friends. I feel visceral and tangible being in this space.
Show some
I
leg.
can feel us sitting by the fire chatting about life. And this is the fire, right? Because the only difference is that our faces are being illuminated by our cell phone screens and, through this medium, right? It used to be just fires, literally illuminating the faces of your friends so you can see them, right? Having fireside chats. It's so nice to have you here, Maxine. You create so much love in this space too. Johan, showing some love. Why you yelling, bro? Christian, why you yelling? Oh, why are you yelling, dude? Why are you so loud? Thank you, friends. Melita, it's nice having you here. We're gonna pull a card for you. You do want to leave at 5.
Yeah,
right?
I'll leave it.
So
You guys
fine.
can keep streaming like that. It's nice.
That's true. Get out of my head, Shan. Your nostrils are very clean, Christian.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you. That was a good one to share. I'm happy I did. Shannon loves it. Shannon loves being inside Maxine's head. They had the same thought. Maxine probably said the same thing. And she was like, yeah. Christian
Nice.
got some clean nostrils. Who would have known? Who would have known that would be something we would talk about today?
I maintain them on a daily basis.
Christian is in fact not a crack addict or a cocaine snortier. He takes good care of his health. Yeah,
Dude, Askis, what the fuck?
it looks at him. You're talking about
And the hands, dude, what? Your hands break, bro.
mobility.
Your
like
dude.
you exercise that shit to get like all of this tendon fiber.
Snaps, dude.
It's strong. Christiana's power food.
It's like Christian's today's comic relief.
Look at this man. See what's happening here.
Dude, how the fuck, bro? What the fuck, dude?
It was just like a split second. It was very tasteful, Christian.
Tasteful sidearm.
Very tasteful sidearm. Christian over here in the background, randomly yelling obscenities. We love him just the same. Christian is today's comic relief in the stream. Thank you.
Mahalo.
It's our punching bag. Can't wait for me with all of the face to face. Maybe with a little trip. I would love that, dude. Some mushies would be nice. I never met such a spicy Capricorn. You a spicy Capricorn, Christian?
Bro, all Capricorns are spicy. What do you want about?
Oh,
This is the card we pulled. Above the storm. So this one I feel was more for the stream. I wasn't thinking about you as hard as
That's
I want to.
so
For your
true,
card.
dude.
No, I feel like he asked me to pull a card specifically for him as well. So this one I'm gonna be very mindful about.
dude.
Maybe you can even tell me when you want me to stop.
Stop.
Two of them came out. You want to read both? Or just one?
Give me both. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. I want to see what this one is though.
Okay. You can check for yourself.
Oh,
We pulled that one yesterday? No,
This
it was
is-
a different one.
this is the one I pulled with it, but it's not the one that really fits for me.
He's the one that he
I
wants
like
to
that
have
card.
card.
Isn't that on the front?
No, like the fire arch almost is, but compassionate Pele. Beautiful card as well, but this is the one he wants read.
Oh,
Shadow and Grace. This is a pretty cool card, dude. And I feel, weirdly enough,
dude, there.
it's the exact same card with different symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this one is above the storm, and this one is shadow and grace, and it's like the contrast and the light, dark and the light. So cool. So you technically had the same card pulled, dude. That's like some crazy synchronicity as well.
Dude, stuff happens insanely.
Dude, so 62. Let's hear what your card means first.
See, I want to listen to both.
Contrast and choice. Standing solid amid radiant geometry, a golden tree being stretches his arms towards the light of spirit, spiraling in from above. He is confident in his choices and his ability to both transmit and receive this brilliant energy. In stories told throughout the world, ravens and crows are seen as communicators and magical assistants. Maybe your AI one day could be the crow.
Dude.
That sounds pretty cool.
Dude, I'm liking it.
Right,
Dude,
I'm seeing fractals, dude.
Dude, say.
In stories told throughout the world, ravens and crows are seen as communicators and magical assistants. They take wing and swirl elegantly through the scene, providing shadowy contrast to the golden light. This card suggests that there is shadow and contrast in your current circumstances. So that's relevant for you too, Christian. You may be required to make choices and act with genuine awareness in a situation you might rather avoid. Contrast and challenge are useful signs providing you with an indication that change is needed. Look closer at your position and evaluate your options. Know that you always have a choice in the matter. Have confidence that by the grace of your inner light and the integrity of your intentions, you will be guided towards right action. 2 singing wolves flank this card, suggesting that you view your current position with a stance of grace and personal confidence. Know that you are protected in your decision to make conscious choices for yourself and for the good of all.
I really like it.
Birthday card, dude.
Birthday card, dude.
What a hoorah from the universe.
Dude, you can do it. I really like that card. Thank you, universe.
Good pick, dude.
Thank you.
Like, weirdly enough, something that I thought about. Because I know these cards, I know that this means the card is upside, this means the card is downside. So if I had those two cards in my hand, I probably would have picked the upright one. So if you had the fractal that I did, you would have not picked that card, dude. And you still
Maybe.
did, oh. So let's read what the second one means. 54. No. 56.
56.
The infinity symbol. Above the storm, dynamic action, clarity. This is a card of dynamic action, fresh starts. A funnel cloud spins in bolts of lightning flash and dark swirling clouds. Above the storm, clear light radiates from crystal geometry. A figure 8 or Mobius strip composed of hands weave through the scene, uniting turbulence and radiance. The Mobius strip is a symbol of single-sided non-duality, linking darkness with clarity. Every human life has times of turmoil and unrest, times when storm clouds seem too close and seem to close in and conditions become challenging. You may be experiencing such a time when sparks fly and tempests rage, or it may be that someone you love is growing through a crisis. Tough times come and go, and it is important to remember the truth and the old saying that it's darkest before the light. Whether it is by your own storm or that of a friend, this card asks you to move beyond difficult times with ease, grace, and tenderness. Consciously witness what is occurring. Step out of the drama and view the turbulence with the eyes of an observer. Act in support of the decisions that you need to make to move this dynamic action to a place above the storm, where clarity and light may overcome all obstacles. Use the Mobius strip to help you visualize how energy moves through times of dynamic action into the light. Envision crystal clarity as the outcome, and give thanks for your ability to weather the storm and find a fresh start.
Dude, nice cards. Always fascinates me how these things always work for whatever you need them to. Like whatever you want, you put into them, you pull something along the lines. It's kind of crazy.
The synchronicity, dude.
Mhm.
It's like a synchronicity generator in my life.
Yeah, dude, all it is like, I'm just seeing it as like these nodes that's like interwoven with everything, and you're just waiting until you dunk at that node and you pull the one you want. Dude, these things be cool. Thank you for the card.
Thank you for going through that with me, man.
My pleasure, dude.
Sacred geometry is everywhere, dude. I feel like that's the thing that it's trying to get at as well. It's trying to catch this fundamental part of our environment, right? Like above the storm, dude. Just the fact that we've had these stormy clouds. We had clouds today, dude. Now it's clear
Yeah.
again.
Life does this.
I
As it goes.
yeah, and you know what my quote for that is? It's just life is a sine wave. And even our voices can be deconstructed into just a whole fractal of sine waves that collapse onto themselves to make these sounds right now.
Dude.
I wonder, like I'm tripping out about a being that listens to me on all levels of the frequencies instead of just what I'm saying. And then I'm imagining this first, like this being, instead of listening to me, just critiquing my sine wave. Being like, these are nice
These
sine
are
waves.
nice.
That's so ridiculous, man.
That's exactly what we're busy doing.
Oh, that would be hilarious, though.
Dude, you're just sitting there like, yes, this particular combination of sine waves, they make me feel good.
They make me feel kind of nice. Oh, thank you. Let me give you a hug before you leave. Jam! What a nice surprise having you here. 777
Bye.
showing.
I'm gonna go have dinner with my parents.
Thank you, Johan, for joining us.
Goodbye.
It's nice having you
It
here.
was awesome, bro. Thank you for having me on stream. Thank you for the yoga. Thank you for everything.
You want another joint?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna have. Wait, like I'll take one home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll take one home,
Here
dude.
you go.
Absolutely.
So pick one of these, dude. Has magic on all of them. Zwang.
We see what it
There
is.
you go, dude.
Thank you.
You're welcome, homie.
Kuba.
Get out of my house.
Yo, fuck you, dude. Y'all never come back.
What have you done, Christian? I'm gonna have to end your existence. I'm a crab. A crab is what again? I actually forgot.
I mean,
I
I
don't-
can't let you out.
I'm getting schooled right now. I don't know my astrology. I feel like a bad student. Maybe that's supposed to be. The Tempest. If you pull 62, perhaps you should also pull 26. Well, I'm gonna maybe just read from 26 in that case. You wanna hear what that means? The Antaknara, the bridge. This is what it looks like. Flower of life. This symbol is the symbol of my bong, remember? Person looking upwards. Arms stretched up as well. More duality, right? The whole infinity symbol coming into that as well, actually. more power. The Antakanara is an ancient healing and meditation symbol that has been used in Tibetan China for thousands of years. It is part of a spiritual anatomy that connects the physical brain and the higher self. It is a bridge of light that aids in your connection to the higher dimensions. It is said that the Antakanara has its own consciousness, and that merely being in its presence will raise a person's vibration and assist in healing and personal evolution. Connecting with the higher self will offer insights into virtually any question or inquiry you may have. The Antakanara may be seen as a direct link between your thoughts and your intuitive nature. It is the result of the interaction between matter and consciousness. Meditate with this shape. Relax deeply and give attention to your breath. Sit quietly and open to intuition and insight. Let this time act to strengthen the connection between thought and intuition. Realize the capacity for growth and healing you already possess. The answer to your inquiry will come through your ability to bridge the material world and the realm of spirit. You may wish to make a copy of this shape and place it on your altar, beside your computer, or in your healing space. Wherever you notice it, acknowledge your connection to a higher self and the wisdom that is always available through that communication. Thank you, Joe, for asking, friend. Jem, it's nice to have you here. Joe! So nice to see you too, dear friend. Griffin, big love. Ooh, that card. One of my favorites too. Thank you. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Thank you, Johan. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Christian!
Thank you.
It was nice to have you here too. Are you feeling a little bit calmer?
Yep. I invested some crypto.
Nice, you finally succeeded.
Oh,
You finally
after
succeeded.
fucking years of trying, perseverance pays off.
Persevere. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me. It's a pleasure having you. See you again soon. Goodbye, everyone. Cheers, cheers.